Good morning. It is -7. It was -13 overnight. It's daylight. The sun's up. I'm more confident about difficult conditions in the day than I would have been at night. In case you weren't sure, based on the accent, I did not grow up in Wyoming. So better safe than upside down. Blowing snow over the freeway, as you can see. Goodbye Rawlings. I had a great restful night. I had in my head this idea that for this road trip, I was gonna go from place to place and go see the towns that I'm staying in, but there's no time for that, I'm afraid. The other reason for doing it in the day is still just as pretty as yesterday and still just stunning. It says strong winds, 50 miles an hour plus. I'm not worried about it in this car because it's so heavy and it's so low and it's such a slippery shape. Outside temperature says -11 now. Yeah, that glass is very cold. So, steady progress. It looks like it's actually worse in the other direction. There's a jackknife truck there. We're going nice and slow. The upside of going nice and slow for the conditions is that the energy consumption is really good. So because the pass to Cheyenne is closed, there are just trucks everywhere as they all park up and wait for the pass to get opened. Laramie supercharging. Getting a good rate, 108. Got my coffee. Thanks to the Fairfield Inn and Suites for somewhere to pee. They said they were super busy. Everybody had to stop here last night, check in. So in fact, it says it's ready to go. So I got to drink my coffee quickly. It's too hot. All right, State Highway 287. We just crossed into the state of colorful Colorado. Some states don't allow Tesla to charge by the kilowatt hour, so you don't pay for the amount that's delivered. Instead, they have to charge by the time that you spend there. Canada's the same. Canada charges by the minute rather than by the kilowatt hour. And I do not like the per minute billing because you don't charge at a uniform rate. You charge really fast if your battery's nearly empty, and then it just gets slower and slower and slower. So there's a point at which it's not worth sticking around on a supercharger. But when you're on a long trip, you want extra buffer. So you want to stick around and put maybe more in your battery than is economically viable to do so if you're being charged by minute. So the landscape immediately looks different. We just crossed the state line, and suddenly it doesn't look like Wyoming anymore. Now it looks like Colorado. I wonder whether when they were drawing the boundaries for things, it was guided by shrubs and tree species. They're like, this doesn't grow in my state. You can keep this bit. It is now a balmy 12 degrees C. Yeah. May actually have to put the AC on in a minute. And minutes ago, we were freezing our butts off at -14. So we're passing through the middle of Denver now. We still got an hour to go. That coffee I had went right through me. But I'm going to hold it in so that I do a bigger stop. So we made it through Denver alive. That was just Mad Max. That was 6 lanes of 80 mile an hour, bumper to bumper. People just changing lanes rapidly. It was crazy. It was crazy. Had I been in the mood for that, I mean, if somebody had sent me a memo, I'm game. I got super fast acceleration. Backing camera is completely smushed. So the charging was 135 miles, took about 3 hours. 14% at the end, and I think we started with 80%. Now I really need to pee because I held it in the entire time, and I should go and buy some screen wash because I think I emptied an entire carton of the stuff as we went through all the snow runoff, and yeah, I don't want to run out because then I wouldn't be able to see. Okay, so pee, that was necessary, coffee, breakfast burrito, lemon and cranberry muffin, and we're ready to go. It says continue trip. Okay, the burrito was eaten, the muffin awaits, the coffee is in the process of being drunk, and we have left Colorado Springs at around 2 p.m. Beautiful bit of road, gargantuan, smooth, view goes on forever. That's it, nothing to add. Colorado. I still have my muffin from Colorado Springs, and here for 25 minutes there is a Wendy's and a garage, a gas station, I remember. And I'll probably just be getting a bottle of water, and yeah, that's it. And then... Okay, just about to leave Colorado for a brief spell in New Mexico before entering Texas. This trip is going slower than... I did a stupidly rough calculation as to how long I thought it would do, but it's going slower because of me, because I need to take longer breaks than the car needs to charge. At the end of the day, you have bodily functions, whether it's eating, drinking, or what happens after, and they take time. And so the supercharging is faster than you. So we're doing cross-country trek now across a little bit of New Mexico and heading on into the tip of Texas. At Amarillo, I'm going to decide whether to just call it a night. It'll be around 8 p.m. All right, we are in Texas. I may need a new hat. Outskirts of Amarillo, Texas. Okay, exciting new plan. So, whilst in the time it took me to go to the washroom, the car charged at a really quick rate. And then when I looked on the screen again and charted in my the hotel that I'm laughably booked at, it had switched from this long 1 hour charge, fairly tricky 3 hour leg that would have taken me to midnight. It then switched it to an hour and 40 away. And what I like about this is that it is a sooner option if I decide to bail for the night. I couldn't believe how quick we were ready to go again. That really was a go in, kind of futz with maps for a while, do a bit of charger research, not really find what I was looking for, go for a wee, come back, and then boom, continue trip. I was hoping that this was going to be by a hotel so that if I wanted to, I could call it a night, but it is not. I bought this sandwich. It's larger than other sandwiches, which I think is what they say about Texas, that things are bigger than there. Like even the bread's bigger. The cheese is thicker. Okay, so it is 11 p.m. It's getting late, and I'm ready to continue to Cisco. So, all right, change of plan. I'm getting too tired now. The sandwich and the Twix and the Powerade didn't cut it. So rather than go to Cisco and supercharge there, I'm going to stop at a pretty big town, maybe even a city. I'm going to butcher the name now. Abilene. There is a Hilton there with a Tesla charger. I'm not going to call ahead, I'm just going to show up. I've got enough juice I'll still have enough juice to make it to the Cisco supercharger if this falls through. And that's it. Abilene. I'm very sorry. So there were 2 charge stations at the hotel. One Tesla one that had a Model S plugged into it. He'd finished charging by the time I got there, but there's no way to take that connector out. It's locked in, so it's not like when it fully charges it unlocks. Maybe that should be a thing. I don't know. And then there was a GE Watt station which uses a different connector, but works for all the rest of the electric cars. Model 3s come with an adapter, and you plug that adapter into the connector, plug that into your car, and I was able to get about 50% charge whilst I slept, and I didn't sleep for very long. Cisco, Texas. So I think if I had been able to get on the onto that Tesla charger last night, I probably could have skipped this stop. So this is perhaps 20 minutes that I didn't need to do had that hotel had more chargers. And I did my best to look up kind of what was available, and yeah, it's a little thin on the ground here. It's not nothing, but it's not plentiful either. There's two types of supercharging on a long trip, or 2 types of charging on a long trip. There's your midday stop, and then there's your stop for the night. And so the Cisco Texas one is perfect for a day stop. It's got an amazing shop in there, really friendly staff, whole bunch of cool stuff. You've got gas stations for cars and light trucks, and then for big trucks, big rigs on the other side. So you've got like a good sort of coming together. It's a nice central point, but there's nowhere to stay. And the closest place to stay was about a mile down the road. So I got my essentials for Texas. I got sun cream, pasty white Englishman in the beating Texas sun. Even in February, I can feel it coming off. I need to up my skincare game with all the places that I've been. And I just bought some bandages just as a precursor for the skateboarding later, assuming that happens. We're approaching the outskirts of Austin now. It's 12 p.m. I'm gonna go straight for the hotel, freshen up. So I made the hotel, and it has charging. In the time that it took for me to kind of check in and futz around, and there was get all that done, then 30 minutes has gone by, and so that's that kind of check-in bit that I'm talking about, where if there's charging at the hotel, then even just the process of checking in can give you extra range. So right, you have to unplug it. That's a great feature. So it won't let you drive away whilst it's still plugged in. Yeah, I did just try and do that. So, whoops. Okay, drive away attempt 2. Now it's no longer going to drag a hotel along behind it. Well, because we're right at the Circuit of the Americas and a bunch of cars are whizzing by, so it must be time to get our racing on. I have a different kind of race car.